So my name is Adam Caller. I'm the founder and CEO of Tutors International. We formed in 1999, a specialist private tutoring recruitment company.
Right, so welcome to the program. What does research show that you've conducted that shows us about private tutoring and the industry?
Well, it was remarkable, if I'm honest with you. And I certainly wasn't expecting the results that we found. We asked parents to, first of all, indicate if they were the kind of people who might ever consider tutoring for them or themselves or their children. And then we asked them to to give us some information about whether or not they believed that tutors were qualified to do the job. And we discovered that a staggering 90 something percent of parents assume that anyone who says that they are a professional tutor is actually qualified to be a professional tutor. But it turns out, because I know how the industry works, that these people in general are not. I mean, there are many fully qualified teachers who are doing tutoring, and I would say those are qualified, but there is no tutoring qualification that exists at all. And so anyone who isn't a qualified teacher is tutoring and claiming professional acumen when they really have no qualification for that. I mean, can you imagine if the medical industry worked that way?
That's right. But what's the impact of that then?
Well, so I can a kind of multifaceted reply. I mean, one of the key things, and it happened to me recently where somebody applied to work for me for a specific um, qualification for a child to support 11 plus. And this particular person had, said that they had 15 years of experience of doing it. But in fact, when I drilled down into that, they had never taken one student all the way through from the beginning to the end, and therefore had no real experience of having done it. They just said that they had, and parents are assuming that what teachers tell them is true. Um, which, that doesn't mean at all that a teacher is not capable of doing it, and it doesn't mean that an unqualified teacher isn't very good at doing it. It just means that there's no real regulation of that. And so there's no real standards to aim for. There's no peer review. There's no way for an individual who claims ability to be checked for that ability.
And what should people look for? What should parents be looking for when they're looking for a private tutor?
Well, I would encourage parents to dig pretty hard into a teacher's CV. Don't take it for granted that a qualification that they say they've got has actually been got. Asked to see the degree certificate, for example. If if especially when you start dealing with GCSEs and A levels and anything that requires really great subject knowledge, then you really need to know that this person that you're having as your tutor knows the material and has a track record of success in delivering it one-on-one.
What should the regulatory leaders be doing about this?
Oh, well, did you know at the moment there are no tutoring qualifications? I mean, I've been trying for years and years to either support the development of a level 7 qualification. That is a qualification for tutoring that's at the same level as a qualification for teaching, like the equivalent of a PGCE. And there isn't a single tutoring qualification out there right now. So I would urge regulatory authorities to help create them, to even demand them. I mean, it shouldn't be possible to become a professional tutor without a tutoring qualification any more than it's not possible to be a professional teacher without a teaching qualification.
Okay, and yet it is, of course, it is possible to actually teach in mainstream schools even. And I know people who have done that for years.
Well, you know, my view is simply private schools don't require their teachers to have a teaching qualification. They can make a decision on who they want to hire just out of their own decisions regarding ability and skill set. And that's fine. And I'm not saying for a minute that one set of teachers, whether they've got a qualification or not, are better than another. And I'm not saying that teachers who don't have qualifications are less good than teachers that do. I'm just saying that if you're a parent and you don't necessarily have the skill set to make that assessment like schools do, that you should probably err on the side of people who do have qualifications.
Yeah. Okay, where do we go for more information then?
Unfortunately, it's really going to be down to individual parents still. There is no government website that lists out reliable teachers. There are associations that claim to have lists that should be able to be reliable, but I personally don't rely on them. Um, at the moment, I would say to parents, it's up to you to build a relationship with your tutor and to dig down hard into that tutor CV.
Adam, thank you very much for joining us on the programme today.
Thank you, and nice speaking with you.
Phil Richards reporting.